Hello, hello, hello. Sorry I am a minute late, you guys. We woke up this morning to find out our air conditioning isn't working. Little bit of a crisis, but it would have to take bigger than my air conditioning not working for me to miss my train ride today. So if you don't know who I am, Kathy Grillo Designs. Hi! You can find me on all this lovely social media. Please do. Welcome to the Inspired Minds scope train today. I'm Kathy Grillo. Art by Zalazar is next. We have a great lineup today. Check it out. Check it out. Hi, Arcade. Glad to see you're here. Alright, so let's get to work because I have kind of a lot to do. I'm working on this lovely little kitty. And excuse me, I still need some coffee. So what's everybody else doing today? It's humid, it's rainy, and our air conditioning is not working. But my husband's fixing it right now, so it's all good. It'll be fine. Hi, how are you? Alright, so I'm going to, let me zoom in really quick for a second. So I don't know how to convert Celsius, so I'm stupid. I don't know. Is that hot? Is that cold? I don't know. Alright, so I have a little bit of detail. Okay, it's hot. Okay. I have a little bit of detail here in, that I did start. And of course I finished the eyes, but I want to lay out some coloring on the body, and then we'll get back to some details. So we'll have a little coffee chat here while I work on this little guy. So I've been working my way through. Okay. Alright. So I've been working my way through the dog breeds, and I said, you know, I'm a dog person. Yes, coffee is good for sure, but I'm a dog person. But I know there are people out there who are really crazy about their cats, so I need to practice some cats. So I'm working my way through the cat breeds now. So this is, I didn't even know cats had breeds. That's how not of a cat person I am. So this is I'm gonna totally annihilate this name. It's an Abyssinian cat. Is that right? I think it's an Abyssinian cat. A python, people. Well, if you have a python, I've never drawn a python. I would give it a good shot if somebody asked me to draw their python, but you know. Their pet snake. I can't even say that without it sounding bad. I'm sorry. I don't really like snakes either, but I would try to do it if somebody wanted me to. Alright, so the purpose of here right now is just trying to get some color blocks, and that's basically blocking in his pattern and sort of the coloring that he has, and it just kind of gives me a little bit of a background and a base to go with. And I put the detail on top of it now. Always, this is a new technique too. I've only been doing this for like the last 4 or 5 portraits, but it seems to work pretty well. Yeah, it depends on the cat and the hair, I guess. I'm dreading those skinless cats when I get to whatever breed that is with those things, but you know, all I can do is give it a shot, and it'll either work or it won't. Just like if somebody, is that what they're called? Spanx? I have no idea. If somebody asked me to draw something and it turns out that, you know what, it's just not working. I think so too, but you know, there's people who love them. So let's not judge. I try not to judge. But I have no qualms. Like, if somebody would say, hey, can you draw my python? And if I tried it and I really couldn't do a good job, or a job that I thought was good enough, I would say, you know what, I tried and I just ain't working out. I just can't do it. Don't worry about it. This is the best shot. I'd probably give them my best shot for free and be disappointed that it came out crappy. But you gotta try. Because you never know. It might be your thing, you know? Give it a shot. So I guess that's why I do a bunch of different subjects and different types of arts, because I'm always interested, and I see somebody else doing something, and if I like it or it interests me, I'll give it a try. Yep, that's the only way to do it. I mean, why waste your time being, why waste your time being sort of negative about it, right? That's how I feel. I have to try to do what we can, make it a little bit of a better place if at all possible. And you never know when you just might make someone's day. Not always. I have my moments, but through some therapy I've learned to sort of work with it a little bit. I'll be honest with you. I have dealt with, I have diagnosed severe anxiety, some OCD. I have issues, people. Some OCD. I have a little bit of agoraphobia. And all that caused me to have a little bit of depression. And I hid it most of my life until I got to the point where I just cannot hide it anymore. And my husband has yeah, I know, but my husband, this is for real. This isn't like, oh, you're just having a bad day. Literally, I got to the point where I couldn't do like regular everyday life stuff. It was bad. And my husband literally had to pick me up off my kitchen floor and take me to a doctor, because part of my thing is I have a doctor phobia from when I was little, and I was in the children's hospital, but that's a whole nother story. And so then finally, after 40 some years of whatever going on in my head, after 40 some years of whatever's went on in my head, I went and got therapy and a little bit of medicine, and I'm not on so much of it anymore, thank God. And so now I've just learned to, I still have some bad days, but usually I just I know it's a bad day, and I just, talk myself through it. So try to be positive, and I try not to waste this is the lessons of life, right? Yeah, but they probably saved my marriage and maybe my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, the medicine probably saved, in that short time I needed it to get myself back on track. Not so much a happy pill, but they're just like, calm down, because I had panic attacks where I couldn't breathe. And I was like literally in like a fetal position on my kitchen floor. It was not good. So, the lesson, I am 49 years old, so the lessons of life are, don't spend your time being negative or worrying about things that you really can't do anything about. Try to spread positivity, and, spend, oh, see, there you go, and spend your energies on the things that matter personally, and, you gotta live a good life. There's things you can't control, and you just kind of have to accept it. And there's no shame in being honest with people. And the only reason I do talk about it now Yeah, yeah. I mean, because literally I dealt with this since I was like 5. Probably my first panic attack was when I was 3 years old. And so I would just hide it very, very well for a long, long time. And like I would go like years without having anything happen, you know. But just stuff piled up a few years ago, and it just was like I was in. It was like I was in the ocean, and every time I came up for a breath of air, something else just smacked me right in the face. It was like I could. It was terrible, and to the point where you'd understand why people would drown because they just give up. Like you can't do it anymore. So I share it because you never know. I thought I was all alone, and you never know when somebody else might be like, I feel that way. So I was amazed that when I started talking about it, people were very understanding when I thought it was just like this awful thing that I hid in my bathroom. Like my husband didn't even know how bad it was, and we've been married for 26 years. So that says a lot, right? Well, I want this body under the face. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I'm just going to put this in here. So take care of your issues, folks, because if you don't, they will pop up and bite you in the butt eventually. See, real talk. Come to Kathy's Scope. We'll talk about real life things. Oh, don't cry. I'm all good. And see, now I have the love of people when I share my story. They do say, instead of hiding it. And then not only that, when I do have a little free out, like I try to tell all my friends too, like sometimes don't take something personally. And now I'm not afraid to say, you know what, I can't do that. I'm having a bad day, and they understand. So that's something else I developed with age, is that the people who really care about you will understand, and the people who don't really care about you might not understand, but then they don't matter anyway. That's right. Yeah, that's true. That's a good one. Spent too much time of my life worrying about what people thought of me, Alright. That's true. That's true. But I'm a pleaser and a worrier and yeah, all that stuff that got me into trouble. But I'm glad to say I don't go to therapy anymore, because I'll just talk about it to whoever I need to talk about, and so I don't have to pay for therapy anymore. Yeah, I'm a little empathetic to I don't watch the news. Like, I only find out what's going on in the world from Facebook or my friends, because I can't waste my time freaking out about stuff that really does not relate to me. So, thank you. Unless it's happening in my own backyard or to somebody that I care about, I can't do anything about it. Sorry. I haven't watched the news in years. Okay. So, right now I laid down some little bit of brush strokes of oil colors, and I'm just kind of touching it with this brush is called. Oh, hi, really? Yay! I think you're my first person from Kakistan. Is that how you say it? Kakistan? I love it. Thank you. You're right. That's exactly what you have to do, and that's one of the first. So one of the first things my therapist told me was to stop watching the news. But yet he has this stupid news on in his waiting room where everybody's like pacing around like crazy, right? I mean, that was really stupid. But what can we say? Just Add Water 2 is my blender. So this blender is just like taking a brush with water on it and kind of spreading it around a little bit. New York's in the house. I love New York. I was there once. I have some family there. I went on a cruise once, and we were hanging out with a bunch of people from New York, and so we were yes, it's a cat. We were honorary New Yorkers for the whole week of our cruise. So, I love New York. I don't think I could live in New York, like, at least, like, by the city center, but I love New York. Ah. I can't believe my air died today, you guys. I'm, like, starting to, it's really warm in here. Alright, so I'm just, like, spreading these colors around to get the little color patches on this dude. Or girl. It could be a girl. I don't know. Hi, how are you? Hey, you guys, I'm like one of the early people on this train here, so if you could do me a really big favor, I would appreciate it greatly. If you can, like, just share and spread the news that we're out here doing this, I would really appreciate it. Get some people, more people in here. Spread the love of art. Thank you. Let's spread the love of art. I think the world would be a better place if more people took the time to appreciate the beauty. So, plus I'm an artist, so if people appreciate art, I love it. I love it. I like it. There you go. Yes, if you're here and you're also part of our group and you're going to be scoping today, please advertise yourself. I will do it for you too, again in a little bit. But please put your thing up and let people know what time. And everybody, please follow them so when they're on later, you can see them because we have some really, really amazing people. Where am I? I think it's in my location. If you look up there, I am in my little island town in the river of Detroit. I'm in the Detroit River in Michigan. Good morning, good morning. I'm doing pretty good today for only like a couple hours of sleep. I think I went to sleep at like 2 a.m. You guys, I like found all these videos on my phone that were hogging up space. So then I started, okay, great. So I started uploading them to YouTube, and it took me to like 2 a.m. to get all my videos put on YouTube. I was like, are you kidding me? Oh my god. And so then I fell asleep and I was up at 7. Did you live in Detroit? Well, then you might know where I'm at. I live in Gibraltar. Do you know where that's at? Have you ever been to Gibraltar? Where do you need help? Who needs help? I have not been there. No, I've never been there. I don't go to Detroit really often. Surprise, surprise. I know it's on TV. I've seen it once or twice, but I don't watch. I don't go there. Hi. Oh yeah. No. Windsor. I can see Canada from the corner of my street. And when I go out on my boat, and I go to my little island beach that we go hang out on, my phone always tries to tell me I'm roaming. And I'm like, I'm not roaming. Yes, Canada is only a few hundred feet over there, but I am still in America. Thank you. I get so mad all the time. And we did get pulled over by Border Patrol once, because we went into Canadian water. But we were noobs. I practically could, yeah. Like literally, I've waved to people who are in their houses, in their backyards in Canada. Put it that way. Hi, Canada. Little secret about my town. Back in the day, we used to be a big spot for the underground rum runners when Prohibition was going on in America. because people would just get in their boats at night and bring the alcohol right across the river. Thank you. They'd bring it right across the river and unload it in our little town. There's a couple places that had like little secret boathouses and stuff. Kind of crazy. Thank you. So I have the background in here a little bit. And I'm sure I will add and update that as I go. This is just a base. When I'm done, you can see my, let me see, I'll show you here really quick. You can see my sketch lines, but those will be gone when I'm done. So the sketch, let me see, I can show you. Alright, let's turn everything else off. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, so the sketch, which I have very light right now, there's my sketch. Oh, thank you, you're so nice, see? I told you, I knew I was paying you for a reason. So, I have this sketch, which is basically my flow mat. So when I sketch it out, you can see I'll start, my lines are very jerky. It's by no means a neat sketch. Just a bunch of jerky lines. So we go in and get the form, and then I start, this is actually probably the second or third sketch, because I start out very rough, and then I narrow it down, and then I get more, So this is probably like the third sketch. So I'll do a sketch, and then on top of that sketch, I'll do another sketch, and then on top of that one, and I'll do it until I'm happy with the sketch. So sometimes it's one sketch, sometimes it's two, whatever. And then all these little lines are just like a flow map. It's a directional map for me, telling me which direction sort of the hair is going, because the direction of hair, yeah, I do work on layers, but just because I have the ability to do so. I'll explain that in a second. Anyway, okay, well, hi Jenny's son. But so the lines are just directionals, and the bigger lines help me get like muscle forms, which then will help me later. It's just kind of like a map for me. So I do use layers. So the first thing I do, oh no, this is just something I want to draw for practice. I do animal portraits. So to keep in practice, I just, I'm working my way through the breeds. And I've been doing a lot of dogs, and so now I need to practice some cats. So this is the very first cat breed. It's an Abyssinian cat. I don't know it, but... Alright, so I always start with the eyes, because the eyes are the most important part of a portrait. If you can get the eyes right and the expression in the eyes, then the rest is usually pretty good. And then the next important thing is the rest of your face. I call it the magic triangle. So the eyes, nose, and the mouth area, if you get this right, the rest is just gravy. And then, so I have the eyes I put on a separate layer. Probably, yep. I have a Persian, yeah, I could do a Persian cat. I could draw them with that, yeah, I just pick at it, I'll draw it. Let's see, so the eyes are on a separate layer just to keep them safe, because I can spend a lot of time on the eyes, and so I keep them safe by protecting them on a different layer. I have the face on a separate layer from the body, simply so I could do the shading without messing it up. And that's all. And that's probably the only layers I'll have, except I'll probably add a little bit of a background layer. So, if you like what you see and you are interested, and you haven't been here before, take a screenshot. This is where you can find me. I'm on all that social media. I'm a social media queen. I decided to storm it and put myself way out there this year. So follow, like, send me comments, send me pictures of your art. I love getting to know you, and I talk on all of them. And then, also, don't forget today, here, take another screen. This is our schedule. And there he is, right down here, 7 to 8. Right there. John will do some great doodling today. Doodle doodly dee. And this is the rest of our lineup. Follow these people or just look up hashtag Inspired Minds. And you will be able to find us today. A great, great day. Lovely, lovely art day. People are like, yeah, well, stop talking and get to some art already. Dang. I know. Oh, I wanna make this layer. My sketch needs to be light so it doesn't bother me. I make it almost so I can't see it because I don't want to get distracted by the lines. I don't necessarily stay in those lines either. So, I just kind of have them there as a guideline, and I don't want to be distracted too much from it. Are they like your eyes? Do you have yellow eyes? These were like a yellow-orange eyes. I kind of like them. And this cat has some like distinctive breed markings, I think. So that was interesting. And I'm going to end up learning about cats because this is how you learn. Practice, practice, practice. Alright, now I need to make this brush. Right there, can you see it on the nose, that circle? That's my brush size. So the best thing about digital art, not yellow eyes, best thing about digital art is I have a whole art store at my disposal. I have every size brush you can imagine. I'll just customize it to whatever size I want by dialing it down. And now I have a nice little teeny super micro brush that you probably can never ever buy or work with because it's so small. But because I'm doing digital art, I can do it. So, okay, well, I'd love to see your picture. So this is a wet blender brush. I'm using, this is digital real wet oil painting. So it's a real wet oil. The real means that the program Corel Painter has taken it, has studied how the medium of oil paints work, and has really made them function as close to real oil paints as they can, and they've done a pretty good job of it. So those oil paints will blend and work in even after I'm done. So if you look over here, if I draw a big mark on here, as soon as I'm done drawing, it'll start soaking into the paper. And then when I do something else, these will start soaking into each other and forming layers. So the more I put paint on it, the more layers I will get. And they will interact with each other for a few minutes after I'm done painting. So this wet blender brush does some of the natural shading for me, and it makes it look, it does a really good job of doing some of the realism. And then I have a reference over here that I'm just using really for the shapes and markings and some of the coloring. But I always like to kind of jack it up. Oh, there's my dog, barking away already. She's my husband's outside looking at our air conditioning, and she's like, "What are you doing out there?" So you do have to play around with colors with the oil paints a little bit, because they will blend in together and not look like maybe as you thought. But I really like how they work. And you can just very subtle, it gives a good subtle blend, which is very natural looking. So I could blend in a bunch of different colors at the same time. And they'll build up on top of each other, so like my rough lines that I put in before will still be there, but I could get some of these different color variations put in. And if you ever really take the time to look at animals, they'll have, oh, well, it's just practice. You know, if you ever take the time to look at animals, you'll see all the different color blends that, what you think is black is really not black. There's some black and browns and, a little bit of white, and, you just have to look at the details a little bit. But I'll tell you, you could do it if you want. This is practice. I've only been doing digital art since January because this program and my tablet was a Christmas gift from my husband last Christmas. And so when I got it for Christmas, I've never done digital art before that. And when I got it for Christmas, I just started reading the manual and teaching myself. Good morning. So it is all about what type of time and effort you want to put in. It's just practice and repetitive and learning and studying and just drawing. And if you follow me or go look at my Facebook page, you can see some of the stuff I did when I first started. I'm almost embarrassed that it's even up there. But I leave it up there as also as an encouragement to say, see, look where I was less than a year ago. And if you practice and draw and love it, you can do it too. Because my art didn't look like this when I first started, I can tell you that much. I know I'm still drinking coffee too, right? And this cat's going to probably take a while. I'll probably be scoping him on and off for a long time because there's a lot of color variations and specific markings on this cat. So he has a lot of different colors that blend in together. So that's going to be the hard part, is making sure I stay true to these markings. Oh. Maybe. I don't know. Because these cats are new to me. Yeah, street fairs are fun. My only problem is I don't have a lot of people who ever want to go to them with me. I'm an artist in a house full of non-artists. Oh, so they just kind of tolerate me, and they'll do it every once in a while as like a pity thing, It is hot, huh? I know, that's a problem. I don't like being out when it's hot anymore either. I'm old now. I want to be walking around. It's all hot. I would prefer going on my own too, but there goes my agoraphobia stuff. I'm okay going places when I'm not the person in charge, but like going somewhere all by myself is very hard for me still. So I'm still working on that one. Because sometimes I'll have somebody drop me off. Yeah. It's kind of hard to explain because people think you're weird, and I don't like people saying, oh my god, she's totally crazy. But I guess I kind of am. I have like my little safe zone that I could go to, and it's slowly expanding. And then I moved. And when I moved, and I didn't know where anything was, because like I grew up in the same area my whole time, so I never even knew I had it. But then like when I moved, it kind of threw me for a loop, and I was like, what the heck? So, yeah, it's a whole thing. There you go. Yes, it's coffee time. I do have my coffee. I have a big mug of coffee. A big mug right there. Today I have coffee. I have coffee with a double double chocolate cappuccino, double mocha cappuccino mix in there. It's pretty good, I will say. I have to drink fancy because I don't really like the taste of coffee, so I have to have fancy coffee. I like the benefits of coffee, I don't really like the taste of it. That's the secret. So I started drinking coffee. What I did was I took hot chocolate packets, and instead of using water to make it, I would use coffee to make my hot chocolate. That works pretty good. But now I just use a Hills Brothers cappuccino mix. You know, like the English toffee. I think this brush needs to be, actually, believe it or not, a little smaller, you guys. So I'm just trying to get a natural look to this little hair here. I have to put like, this face is going to give me a time and a half, I can tell. All the markings are in this face. Oh, well, that's good. So I don't know, I like the darker coffees, but I don't like coffee taste. I'm weird. I don't know. I love the smell of coffee. Always have loved the smell of coffee. Like a fresh brew of coffee, so you just smell it. I love that. La 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 la. You're from Coffee Land. We just had my son's girlfriend from England here, and she's a tea drinker. They drink tea over there. I still have a box of her tea here. I don't know. And she adds coffee, like milk and a little bit of sugar in her tea, but I still can't, But then, on the other hand, she's like, ugh, coffee. Ugh, she says, ugh. Ugh. She doesn't even like Tim Hortons ice cap coffee, like frozen, like a chocolate coffee milkshake. She didn't like that either. I was like, are you crazy? How do you not like a Tim Hortons ice cap? Man. It was English tea. She bought it at the store. It was the same stuff she drinks at home, she said. P&G or PG, something like that. I don't know. Something like that. Yes, that's what we have. Bought it just for her, so it's still here. Oh, see? I'm glad she liked it when she was here. I tried to make her feel like at home, so I guess I did good. She was happy with it. She's like, oh, English tea. And I said, yes, English tea just for you. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of like that. I'm kind of nice that way. I'm trying to bribe her into finally deciding to marry my son and move to America. To be honest. It's my devious come, I'll take care of you until you get you settled. Biscuit, biscuits, which was what we call cookies. She made something for us once. My son's been to England, and he's like, the food in England is so plain. He goes, the food doesn't have any seasoning over there. That was his big comment. I was like, oh, it's so nice of you, CJ. It's like, yeah, the only good thing they have over there is fish and chips. He loved the fish and chip. He's like, I love the fish and chip, but everything else just had no flavor. That's what he told me. India Yeah, he might like it there. I don't, but he doesn't like really spicy though either. So he might not like it. India. He does like Thai food though. Oh, do you see? So you probably have the best English food around. Oh, but he's like they don't know what pizza is. That's what he says. They have no idea what pizza is over there. They call it pizza, but it's not pizza. He said, what else did he say? This is his comments. Like, he asked him if he had a good time. Um, there was a place that sold, like, supposedly hamburgers, and, yeah, he had a hard time, like, finding something he really liked, except they went to the seashore, and he got some fish and chips, and he loved it. So, he's going back again in, October. He leaves October 28th. So hopefully she'll get him some fish and chips. Hopefully she'll get him some fish and chips. I'm saying. Bangers and mash. Now what's that's like sausages and mashed potatoes, right? She made us something when she made me an English thing once when she was here. And I forget what it was. But it was alright. But she comes here and she's like, oh, I want to go to Red Lobster, and I want to go, because I don't have any where she lives. She lives in a little town. She lives up in, it's called Harleston. I think it's up by Norwich. Norwich and Dis. Does that sound familiar? That kind of area? That's where she lives. Okay, yeah. So she lives up there. Shoreditch, is that what it's called? Is that what you guys call it? But I think she said she had to go to the train station in Dis, I don't know. And when she came here, Norwich, yeah. And she's like, it's like a 3-hour drive to Heathrow or something, but she took the train last time and she said that worked pretty good. And the train went like almost, she had to switch like once or something, and it went like almost right there. You don't pronounce the W. Okay. Somebody else told me that. It'll take me 12 years to remember. It's probably you that told me. Norwich. Itch. Like I got an itch. Alright. I didn't know if that was just her accent or what. Alright, so I'm trying to work on this front of the face here. You can see my little brush frantically brushing. I'm trying to get this little, there's just like a touch of color that comes out and separates the upper eyelid. He used all, oh, that would make, he used all the bags. That would be me though. I'd use all the bags because I use them. But I never run out because I have like a store shelf in my garage because my OCD makes me not want to run out of stuff. So basically, yeah, another issue. Basically, I have a whole, I have double of everything so I don't run out. Yeah, I have a whole pantry of of in my garage, like a shelf, a whole shelf, and like all the stuff that I have. Yeah, I do have OCD. All the stuff I have that like the stock stuff that I always kind of have, they all have I used to work in a store, so they all have a special spot on the shelf. And when I go to do my grocery list, I just go to the garage and see what I'm low in there. I shop from what I'm missing in my pantry, not from what I'm missing in my house. So when I run out of something in the house, you can always go shopping in my garage. I'm very rarely ever really out of something. It does happen sometimes because people don't let me know. Or like we've been on the boat and sort of on vacation, so we haven't been shopping for a while. So like today should be fun when I go to the store. But generally, I have at least 2 extra of anything in my garage. Yeah. Yeah, that's me. So people will be like, oh, do you have... My one friend knows I always have everything. So she'll call me and borrow all my food when she doesn't feel like going to the store. But she's good about giving it back, so... She'll be like, do you have a lemon cake mix? And I'll be like, yes. Yes, I do. Oh, yeah, I have a freezer in my garage, too. So I take things and then I do divide them up into meal portions and put them in my freezer. And the freezer's like that, too. Everything has a spot. I get mad when my kids mess up my spots. Yep. It's like, don't mess up my spots, man. You're making my system go haywire. It took me a long time to get that. And I have a board in my kitchen. I'm like, when you take something from the garage, write it on the erase board. So then I'll kind of know that that's what I need to, get if I'm out and about. But they're kids. They don't listen. Can't get with my program. Yeah. Or if I see something on sale, if I see a good price on something, I'll buy a bunch of them. And then I'll come home and freeze it. I usually have bread and buns and hamburgers, sausages, pork roast, that kind of stuff is always in there. But I'm a little low right now because we've been out having fun, but because I store like that, I have not had to go to the grocery store. I've been able to pretty much be good with what I had in my house and just have some fun. And if the apocalypse, if the end of the world or something ever happens, I'll have enough food for a month or 2. Thank you. Yeah. I don't really, it's true. I buy this, every once in a while I'll plan something new, but I just have all the stuff to make like the regular routine stuff, So I can usually, I do that too. I do. I buy a whole pork loin and I take half of it and make it into a roast. And then I do the other half and cut my own pork chops. I do that too. It's so much cheaper, right? See, look we're talking food now. Come and chat with Kathy. Watch me draw and learn all sorts of useless, and sometimes informative information. Right? Let the time go and, just kind of chill out and we can learn about household shopping. Yes, Handy Hints and Art. There we go. That's a new title. Handy Hints and Art. I kind of like it. I might steal it sometime. Handy Hints, Chat, and Art. Love it. There we go. But, when you guys are here, I kind of like to, answer any questions about art. But I like to treat it like, if I was at my house, which I am, and you guys just, you're my friends, which a lot of you are, and you just kind of are like stopping by and saying, hey, Kat, what's up? And I'd be like, hey, I'm drawing, come and sit down. And we'd sit here and have some coffee, and I would be drawing, and you guys be chatting, and maybe doing your own little art stuff. And, you know, that's kind of how I want it to be. So, good. I think I need this to be lighter. For some reason, I'm not getting the color I want out of this. You see, this stuff takes a little while, and I go a lot faster when I'm not talking about my pantry and household tips. And I love learning new stuff from you guys, see? Awesome. But I'm usually working on these while I watch you guys scope, so just so you know, if I'm not always chatty, if I'm not typing a lot or asking 20 million questions, it's probably because I'm working on something on my own here while I'm being inspired by your art. But I do work a lot faster, so people will be like, oh, you did a lot of work on that. And I'll be like, yeah. This is Corel Painter. But I'll be like, oh yeah, I can work pretty fast when it's just me like jamming out for a little bit. It's just paying attention to all the comments and stuff that kind of slow me down. I want to get some black in here. My time's almost up already, guys. I can't believe it. I have like 8 minutes. Time goes by so fast. When you're having some fun. I do love Corel Painter, yes. It's a very arty program. And some of this will get defined, and you guys know. You'll see it look like this, and you've seen them when I'm done. So by the time I'm done, it'll be like, this cat will probably look totally different again. As I pick at the details and work it in. I've never played with Photoshop, so I wouldn't know. Maybe once I get my studio up and going, I can have more time when I quit this nanny job eventually, or when she goes to school. Not really quit my job, but when my job is obsolete. And I could download some of those free trials and try them out. Bunch of filters. That sounds so much fun. I don't usually do a lot of photo work though. You see, I like to draw. Hi. Our time's almost up here. I have 5 minutes left, you guys. 5 minutes. So get ready. Get ready to look up Art by Zalazar. She's coming up next. Take a screenshot of our list here. There she is! Everybody, follow Art by Zalazar. She just put up some hearts and emojis there. She's up next. In about 5 minutes. 5 minutes! I missed something while I was letting my husband in the house, I know. I'll see it later. I'll see it later. Alright. So if anybody has any questions for right now, please answer before my time, or ask before my time is up. It's almost time for me to go. And I do have to go grocery shopping today. I'm really not looking forward to it. Thank you. I appreciate that, because I've been dreading this grocery shopping trip for a while, because I do not have, I have almost nothing in my house, so I have to go. But I really do not like grocery shopping. I can't wait till I have less kids in the house and I can like go once a month or so. That would be awesome. But then I have to say, be careful what I wish for, because I have a son who's moving out in the week. Well, I think we have online ordering too, but that just like seems, I don't, you know, if I was rich or something maybe, right? Oh yeah. I mean, if I had all the money in the world, I would totally say, hey, do my shopping and drop it off at the house for me. Thank you. Oh, you have to walk? And you couldn't walk to the store from my house. I live out in Booneyville. I mean, I guess you could. We do have a Kroger up the road, but it would take like a long time. And I don't usually go to Kroger. This mouth here, I can tell you guys right now, the way the whiskers and stuff go on this mouth, I'm going to be with that for a little bit of time. This stuff right here, these markings are giving me all sorts of hell. But I'll get there. So let's step back before we leave. And you see when I have to keep remembering that this is a 8 by an 11. Thank you. It's an 8 by 11, so you're not going to see every single little detail that I see when I'm actually working on it. So I just keep trying to remind myself of that. Thanks. Once I get the face done, the body will go fast. I hate saying that. I know he's a pretty cat, right? Let me see. This is what they look like. They're kind of neat looking. These cats are kind of cool. So that's my photo that I was kind of looking at, because I do not know what these cats look like. They're an Abyssinian? I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Abyssinian?
I know you're on your thing, but let's listen to the dogs when they need to go potty, Mom.
They just want to go out because Dad's out. Anyway. I hope this air conditioning is not totally dead, because I'm hot, but we do not have money right now to fix it because we just got back from spending a ton of money on vacations. Vacation time. That's when it happens, alright. But I'm like, it's gonna be humid. It always happens when it's like super hot. Thank you. Yeah, I spend a lot of time on the eyes, which is why you rarely see them on my scope. I think I did scope some of these eyes, though. If you check at some of my older scopes, you might be able to see how I do them. It's hard to explain how I do them. Alright, so guys, Barb is getting ready now, and she will be there in a little bit. I think she might be doing some more embroidery today. I'm not sure. But I think that's what I heard she was going to be doing. Which fabric art is pretty amazing to me, because I do not know how to do it. So, anything I don't know how to do amazes me. I can see I'm going to have to like back erase this. So you see how I'm using my eraser to kind of make my edges here. Because I like having the ends look like little hair pieces. Anyways. Alright guys. So everybody. Oh, you can write letters. Everybody, let's go follow Mrs. Zalazar and see what she's up to today. Thanks for spending some time with me. I appreciate your time as always. And if you liked what you see and you want to see the end of it, take a screenshot. Please follow me on any of that social media, and you'll be able to see the end result. Plus, I'll probably be scoping it, so if you follow me here on Scope, I will probably scope it for the next couple weeks on and off. I'm usually working on 3 or 4 things at a time. So, bye! See you later, guys. Have a great creative day.